Real estate just ranked number 1 on today's scan, down 0.82% on a day when tech ripped 3.78%. The system's scoring structure, not price. We end today's full readout on the top-ranked ETF and stock from the best of best.
SPX added 1.7% today, and NASDAQ, QQQ's underlying index, jumped 3.06%. Iran deal risk-on flow doing the work. But here's what the back end picked up. The weekly Awesome Oscillator just printed a red bar, turning off major resistance on both the monthly and the weekly timeframe. And a potential right shoulder is forming on daily charts after the June highs held. Price ripped. Weekly momentum didn't follow. DXY slid to 99.47 today, and the 10-year pulled back to 4.47%, its lowest in a month. The Iran deal doing the heavy lifting on the macro parameters. The 30-year is a separate story. The back end's been flagging. 4.97%, the highest level since the lead-up to the financial crisis. And U.S. net interest expense just hit 20% of total tax revenues, the highest since the 1990s. Short end caught a bid today. The structural backdrop didn't change. Energy flipped bearish as the Iran deal took the supply risk premium off the table. WTI settled near 81.46, and XLRE closed at $55.55, sitting right on top of the near-term max pain at $55. That's not a coincidence the system ignores. State is bearish, and the data says this section needs to stabilize before the structure gets a cleaner read. Gold clawed back from that $4,000 to $4,080 demand zone, and the miners led the move, up roughly 6.5% on the session. The back end flagged metals as mixed, though, because copper's higher high structure ran into a sharp Friday pullback. Gold and copper don't agree right now, and that split read is exactly what mixed means on this scan. Internationals are splitting by region today. In the AI-adjacent Asian emerging markets, Taiwan's EWT is leading the bounce, and the Kospi flagged a trend flip to the upside on Friday, printing a slightly higher high. Meanwhile, EFA, the European Heavy International ETF, is running into structural headwinds from ECB rate hikes into contracting manufacturing. The rally in EEM isn't broad. It's concentrated in one pocket. Bitcoin cleared $63,900 on today's bounce. That's the move the back end tracked coming off recent lows. But the weekly trend signal stays bearish, and the scan is flagging the 10 and 20-day moving averages as the resistance wall this rally still needs to clear. Mixed read on crypto. The bounce is happening, the trend hasn't turned. The best of best scan ran today and filtered down to 83 shortlisted symbols. That's the system's ranked readout. Everything else got dropped from the board. Top 3 sectors are up next, then the number 1 ETF and the number 1 stock. The full list is live inside SignalFinder Pro. The sector board has a counterintuitive number 1 today. XLRE, real estate, holds the top rank, down 0.82% on the session. XLK, technology, came in at number 2 with a 3.78% gain. And XLI, industrials, posted 1.42% at number 3. Real estate ranking on top while it's in the red is a structural score, not a price-chasing read. That's exactly what the engine is designed to surface. Number 1 ETF from today's Best the Best scan. SOXX, the iShares Semiconductor ETF, up 5.4% on the session. The system scored it to the top of the ETF board on a strong day for semiconductors. The engine's tracking structural leadership, not just the daily move. SOXX holds the major U.S. semiconductor names, and the score puts it at the front of the queue today. Top stock from today's scan. MPWR, Monolithic Power Systems, closing at $1,652.29 and up 4.75% on the session. It's the number 1 ranked name in the best of best today. Monolithic Power is a power management semiconductor name, right in the same sector strength that pushed SOXX to the top of the ETF board. Today's full system readout. SPX up 1.7% and NASDAQ up 3.06% on Iran deal risk-on flow. But the weekly momentum signal just flipped red on the indexes. Macro mixed. DXY at 99.47, the 10-year at 4.47%. Energy bearish. XLRE at $55.55. Metals mixed. Gold recovering off the $4,000 zone. Miners up 6.5%. Internationals split by region. Bitcoin cleared $63,900, but the weekly trend stays bearish.
Best of best narrowed to 83 symbols today. XLRE ranked number 1 in sectors. SOXX, the top ETF. MPWR, the top stock. Verify both live in SignalFinder Pro. And remember, this is educational, not financial advice. Do your own homework.